discussion topic is Core Java. So today is the introductory part on Core Java. So the various topics that going to covered are the introduction about Core Java, then Java Development Kit, then about setting of environmental variables, then Java program structure. We will also discuss about how to use the classes and what is the major role of main function in the Java program structure. Then in the last we will discuss about how to save, compile and finally execute the Java program. So let's move to our first slide. It is the introductory slide. So what is Java? Basically Java is a programming language and it is object oriented language. It means that we will mainly handle with the classes and object concept over here. So it is basically platform independent. It means that if we create a program in one machine, then we can easily compile and execute it on the other by portability. So whenever the Java program is compiled, always it is get converted into bytecode. So what is bytecode over here? Bytecode is the machine language of Java virtual machine. It will be in the form so that any machine, any computer system can understand and execute the program. So I have taken one simple example in the diagram form. It means that if we create a Java program, it will be finally converted into bytecode and that bytecode can be run on any operating system like Linux, Mac and Windows, etc. So let's discuss some of the important features of Java programming. So Core Java is basically used for three types of application development. The first is window form, that is form application, then web application, it means that website, then mobile application development. So it is secure language as it's run on Java runtime environment only. So the next point is that there is no implementation dependency. It means that we don't require any kind of specific version for the execution of the program. It means that Java is very portable language. If we write code in one machine and interpret it, then we can easily execute it in the another machine. The last point is it is multi-threading language. Now multi-threading means that it can perform multiple tasks simultaneously. Let's take an example. Like if we are having one software in which it has to record the keys pressed by the person on the keyboard, then simultaneously it has to send the mail of keys report like in the form of notepad or word file to the admin's mail ID. It means that at a particular time it will perform two tasks, that is multi-threading. It has to record the keys pressed also, then it has to send the email to the admin also after 5 to 10 seconds. So it is the feature of the Java programming language, it is multi-threading. So let's move to our next slide, that is Java Development Kit. Now if we download the Java Development Kit from the internet to execute the Java programs, it provides us many components, that is tools like JVM, JRE, Java C, Java and Jar. So let's discuss one by one. So first point is JVM, that is Java Virtual Machine. It provides us that kind of environment so that once the code is executed, it gets converted into bytecode, which can be easily run on any other machine. So the next point is Java Runtime Environment. It means that this JDK, that is Java Development Kit, provides us lot of predefined supporting files and functions that help us to execute our program very smoothly. It means that we need not to create some important functions which are already predefined over here. So the third point is Java C. C represents here the Java compiler. It means that to execute, it means first we need to compile the program. So for the compilation purpose and to show the errors if occurs, Java C is used. So next is Java interpreter. It is just to run the code and provide us the final output. So the last point is jar file. It is a single executable file. It means that if we are having 10 to 12 files for a single program, then finally we will have only one single jar file. By clicking that particular jar file, the whole program will execute and provide us the output. So it just binds all the files into a single file. So the next we are having environmental variables. So environmental variables are very important to execute the Java program. These are the global system variable. The user, that is the developer, need to set the environmental variables first to execute the program. So there are different directories and folders which we need to know. So there are certain steps how to set the environmental variables. First we need to go to this path, that is C drive, then program files, Java folder, then JDK version, whichever version we are having in the system. This path we need to copy, then we need to follow the particular path that is mentioned in the second step, that is control panel, then system and security, system, advanced system settings. From there we need to check the system properties. There we will have certain tabs. From system tab we need to click on the environmental variable. Then on that environmental variable we need to click on path. Then we just need to edit and paste that code, that path which we copied from the C drive wherever the Java is installed. So these are the steps. We can remember these steps. I have taken certain snapshots for setting the environmental variables. This is the step 1, to copy the path. Then further some options how to use it. Then further next we are having one simple Java program, that is class. I have taken just example as sample. Then in the class sample we are having one main function with the string arguments. Under this we are having one simple line, that is system.out.println welcome to Java world. So this is the simplest program with one line code. It will provide us the output as welcome to Java world. So let's discuss the things that we have used in the Java program. First we have created class. Class means that encapsulation block in which we are having set of instructions that need to be executed. So we are having in total 3 type of classes. That is one main class that we have just studied now. Then we are also having base, which is also called as parent and extended class. Then third is child class, subclass or derived class. So main class is very important. We must have one main class because as we have studied, Java is object oriented programming language. Then base class. Base class simply means that it will have certain data members and member functions that will perform certain functions which can be further extended by the derived class and used by derived class. So these are the 3 classes. Then we have public. It means that public is the access specifier, which means everyone, every class can use that main function. It means that is public. Then static. Static is a keyword that is predefined already in the Java program. Then it means that we need not to create the object of the main function. That is why we have taken a keyword static. Then void. Void means that this particular function will not return any kind of return value. If we will have some return value, we will simply mention int, for integer, float for floating type values like decimal values, then string, etc. Then is the main function. As we have already discussed, main is the main function. So we can have further user defined functions in the Java program also according to the requirement and functionality. So in the last we are having string arguments. So it will represent that string is a data type with the capital S. Then it is a kind of array. That is why we have mentioned brackets over here. Then it means that it will return the arguments. Args is an identifier over here. So finally, after creation of a program, how to save the file? We just need to save the file with the extension .java. If we will compile the program, it will simply create the program into like a program name then .class after compilation. So in the next slide, I have taken the snapshot. So simply we need to save the program with .java after creation of program in the notepad. So then as we have discussed, we need to move to the particular folder wherever we have stored the program. Then with javac we can save the and compile the program. Then for execution we need to write java then program name. So it will simply display us the output. So let's have some MCQs. The first question is, which is to be set first to compile or interpret a Java program? So the different options are given and the correct answer is environmental variable. It means that first we need to set the environmental variables in order to compile or interpret the Java program. Otherwise it will not show us any kind of output or compilation of the program. So the next question is, which keyword allows a function to be executed without making any instance of its class? So the correct answer for this question is static. Static means that we need not to create any object, that is the instance of the class. So it will run automatically, as we have mentioned in the main function as static. So this was all about the introductory section about the core Java. Thank you.